All right, and now we're recording. And before we start, y'all know what I want to do. Here we go. Man, WWF.
Are you hearing the sound?
It's not playing the sound? All right, hold on.
Nah, I can't hear it.
All right, hold on, because we got to do this right. I want to make sure that we can hear it. Here we go. They told me. Okay. They just want to play me because I just had this done right. There we go. Let's make sure. Man. Here we go.
God, I miss Sean in the ring.
I know, right?
So,
Uh-huh.
Isn't Extreme Rules this week? This Sunday?
Sunday. Yep.
This Sunday. Wow.
And they have no matches announced, really.
Wow. Yeah, they had I know there's a
Oh, sorry.
They have Demon Balor versus Roman. That's the only one I could think of, honestly.
Let's not go straight to Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of the podcast. Sorry. I was just looking at stuff.
Oh no, you good. All right. Welcome everybody to another episode of The Late Bloomers Presents the Three Not So Wise Men Talking
Not
Wrestling.
So wise man.
Yeah. And apparently today we got all three. So this is a
Yes.
applaud. Yeah. So we welcome back Chris.
Hello.
Oh, man.
I'm back. Yeah. You see that story.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm on it. All right. And so how's everybody's week been?
Oh, my week has been long. I was in Houston on the weekend. Flew in from Houston, had to go straight to work, and I've just been working the past few days. Off day. Can't wait. So I get off the pod. I know what I'm doing. Going right
Sleep.
Going right back to sleep. I have nothing planned for the rest of the day or tomorrow. Because I'm broke.
I was about to say congratulations, but I'm not congratulating being broke. You got it. Hey, you got it. Congratulations on getting rest. But with this podcast and everything, we are going to get everybody right.
Hopefully, positivity and yeah. But that being said, I hope everybody who is listening to this, wherever you listen to your podcast are, have liked and already subscribed. We already have 2 podcasts out, and we have 2 videos of the podcast on YouTube. I'm your lovely co-host, Siti, along with my other co-host, here to talk wrestling. But how was the rest of you guys this weekend?
Chris, he wasn't here.
I mean, it's better than last week. I'll put it like that.
That's good.
Feeling better. Got sleep. Wife doing good. You know, kids being kids. But you know how that is. Other than that, good, smooth. We smoothing over here.
Right.
Good.
That's good. My week has been busy. Been doing a lot, but I actually did have the weekend off, so I was so happy about that. Yeah, I normally don't get off the weekends, and so you know what I did? I rested,
sleep,
and a couple beers, a couple TV shows, and just relaxed.
Good.
Yeah.
The day cooking. That's what I need to do.
Yeah. No, we got actually got my wife cooking in the back. I wish y'all could see her. Hold on 1 second, please. Don't say nothing.
We're going on everything.
Okay. Can't see her good. That's okay. That's all right. Yeah. but she in there cooking.
Hey, sis. All right.
Yeah. So, my fault.
The thing we should talk about was do a recap of Raw. I've seen bits and pieces. I was at work at the time, so I couldn't necessarily watch all of it. But what I did see was Roman Reigns and the Usos versus the New Day and our new WWE World Heavyweight
gyrations.
Championship. Yes. Woo! How did you guys feel about the segment and the initial match with the New Day and the Bloodline? Though they at one time was called the Family.
Nah, I think they're going back to the Bloodline.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah,
that's what they said on the match. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the segment. I like how Big E kind of did a nod towards Brody Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was got rested soul.
Yeah,
but he would have been proud. I'm definitely proud of Big E. He definitely deserved it. I think Brody would have been there for him. Well, he's still there.
That they
watching
get
over him.
a decent run. Like
hopefully.
Game of Kofi, but I also feel like they're hot shotting the Survivor Series angle. But I mean, they got to do something, right?
Yeah, they got to do something. Because after this show last night, they gonna put Roman on Raw. Well, he came over and said, "This is my show now."
It's having like how the women's tag team championships is a traveling tag team. They're talking about doing that again with the World Heavyweight Championships and the tag team, I think.
Yeah, I heard that WWE and I mean not WWE but Raw and SmackDown, there's like this issue with I guess Universal USA and then Fox. They want to have equal footing when it comes to different types of events or star power. So the whole thing about the belts being being able to move and go interchangeably so they can get that star, that big man, like how Big E is the biggest face right now as the champion. They want to be able to move him between Raw and SmackDown because they want pay-per-view buys and all, like they really want their seat at the table, no pun intended. But yeah.
Well, I guess they have to acknowledge Roman then.
Yeah, they definitely got to acknowledge Roman.
They better.
Did you guys see the match, and how do you guys feel about halfway through the match, Bobby Lashley coming out, destroying everybody, like before the end of the match, and them not calling it disqualification when in other worlds and other times in WWE they would call it disqualification? Or how do you feel about them being loosey-goosey?
Did they not call it DQ?
No, they didn't. They kept it going.
Wow.
Yeah.
He kept it going. That's how Roman Reigns speared Xavier Woods.
Oh, that's right.
And then Bobby Lashley came in and then just decided to, oh my God, these dogs need to shut the hell up.
So yeah, they didn't call it DQ when he came out there.
They kept it going.
I was half asleep. It's like what?
All right. From the match perspective, I thought it was enjoyable. I really like how they're really building up this whole Roman Reigns, Bobby Lashley, and Big E. But even before Bobby Lashley, the whole, Big E is a face that is showing his arrogance. He's showing that he's not afraid. He's just like I've seen champions hide behind their bodyguards or their stable because they don't want to get to a part. Like, yeah, I've seen that in WWE. It's one of those things that really bored me. And so to have Big E, that hot tag moment between Big E and Roman Reigns and how they both stood in and how he wasn't backing down. And it was like, yeah, you're going to feel this. Like, it was good, right? Mm-hmm. But then the whole, the fact that you asked about the no DQ, watching AEW as much as I do and how much they will much rather kick somebody out instead of stop the match because they don't want to be like, oh, there's always a distraction or I'm for it. I'm for it. What'd you say?
So how many distraction finishes were there?
As far as AEW, it's not really a lot of this. Oh, but Raw, it's so much that Simon Miller has a distraction counter for the year. Yeah, but it hasn't been as much lately. Like, there's been a couple distraction finishers, but there hasn't been no disqualifications based off distractions or whatever. So I like the fact that they kept it going. I like the fact where it may be a little chaotic, but if it moves the story forward and this is a compelling story, I'm for it.
So who do you guys got? Roman, Big E, or Lashley in the overall battle of the man meat?
Battle of the man meat. We're going to call it that from here on out. Battle all the way up until we're going to call that out. The Battle of the Man Meat until all the way up until Survivor Series. Of course, I'm going with Big E. Bobby Lashley has always been a little weird to me as far as a wrestler, and that was from like the beginning. I know that they're trying to change him into this. I don't want to say try to change him because they always try to play him as this monster, but him being as ruthless as he has been lately, I like. But I'm really liking this whole Big E train because I'm hopping on late. And so he's already established, and all I'm seeing is, oh, this is fun. I want to get on this. And Roman, I like him as a heel. But honestly, I think that Big E, I hope that they have Big E come out victorious on all of this. Make his run massive if they don't make it long. So, yeah.
Tribal Chief. Acknowledge him.
I bet you would.
Acknowledge him. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I'm gonna go with Big E. Like, Roman Reigns is obviously like they're considered quote unquote face of the company. But then also with the draft coming up, I know that they're going to be looking to move. I think people like McIntyre over to face Reigns. So I really do see Big E winning like the gist of it and going on to eventually lose it probably around, I hope, after Mania. That's my plan. That's my hope. You know they're about to do the rematch with Bobby Lashley. Is going to go on to at least the Royal Rumble.
Oh,
God. Yeah, because that honestly, I think that's another reason why. Because I feel like the Survivor Series is going to be so big as far as that match. None of them can't come off looking like they were just the loser. Like, there's a winner, but none of them really lost. So I'm thinking that what happens is that they give it to Big E because they do want that payoff between Lashley and Big E. Even if that payoff is still Big E holding the title and then it changes hands off of some type of, oh, I'm injured, I got to take a break or something like that, and they got to vacate the belt or however they want to do it, or even if they, have them lose it later. I think that Bobby Lashley and Big E battle has to come and it has to be a definite winner. Yes. So, yeah, and that payoff got to be at either Royal Rumble or WrestleMania. It got to be someplace big.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
That crown jewels, gross.
Yeah, What about the finish at SummerSlam with Lashley and Goldberg?
No, that's the reason, one of the reasons why I believe they took the titles off of Lashley is because Lashley and Goldberg are going to be facing each other at Crown Jewels, and they don't want the title involved because even Goldberg said he didn't care about the title anymore, that he was going to come for Bobby Lashley's soul. So that
okay.
And we don't have to worry about Goldberg winning the championship.
Okay. I mean, I just remember what he did to Bray Wyatt. That's all I'm saying.
Man.
Don't talk about that.
Yeah, let's not. Let's
that travesty of what the hell.
Yeah. Okay. Hey,
moving on.
Yes, please. Please.
Let's see. Do we want to talk about Doudrop versus Eva Marie? No, it's skill.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, we can briefly talk about the Shayna Baszler Nia Jax match. All I'm going to say is what they need to do. Well, let's just go ahead and tie this into the women's tag team match. Just put Tamina Snuka and Nia Jax together as a tag team. Make them join the bloodline. Oh my God. Have an all-star monster true faction with men and women. Dun, dun, dun.
That's too easy.
Oh no. It was an easy way just to get into it. At first, I would say if Tamina and Natalya were still together, then they just do the Cody Rhodes, DiBiase, Hardcore Holly route and do it that way. But now that Nia Jax has been quote unquote taken out by Shayna Baszler, all it takes is for Tamina to be like, oh, what? You did this to my cousin? All right. You know what, Natty? Super kick to you. I'm going to go focus on Shayna Baszler and try to take her out. So then they can form a tag team. And then all of a sudden, oh, the Queen of Spades gets with the Queen of Hearts. Oh my God. Now they're facing the crazy female wild Samoans. Dun, dun, dun. I swear I should be a booker.
You should.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't even think of that. The Queen of Hearts and the Queen of Spades. Oh,
see if you get on WWE Creative. I mean, you know, they need all the help that they could get. Yeah.
I mean, at some points, you can't really blame Creative because they're writing to appease the man upstairs.
Yeah, we keep coming back to him. Yeah, no. But I'm not invested in I want to say what's been going on with Raw. I mean, I've been watching it, and some of the stuff that I've been watching is like, oh, that's cool. But for the most part, it's like I'm just stone faced, like, man, please let this be over. I couldn't get through everything, and there's stuff that I zoned out on.
They had like 4 rematches last night.
Yeah.
AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. I would have killed to see that match years ago. I've seen it like 7 times this year.
And that was Mansoor and Mustafa Ali versus Angel Garza and
oh yeah.
Which I'm just happy that those 4 guys are in some type of like being
like anything.
Yeah. I've met Angel Garza plenty of times when I was working for Impact Wrestling and working for MLW, and he's like one of the coolest people in the world, super nice. Muhammad Ali, Mustafa Ali, like a lot of people who've actually worked with him and talked with him that I've talked to have said he's one of the coolest people in the world. Former police officer.
Police officer, yeah.
And like he's a very big family man, and he's just been needing this opportunity because he said so many failed opportunities with the hacker gimmick, with retribution.
Oh God.
And which they still have T-Bar and Mace. They definitely just changed their personalities. But yeah, they at least had that new match on the TV show. of Raw.
Hey, I'm just glad to see Angel Garza. When I first seen him in NXT, I was like, this guy gonna be the next Eddie Guerrero. That's the kind of vibe he gave off. I was like, yeah, I like him.
He gives me Eddie with Val Venus type of.
Yeah, there you go.
Especially when he usually stops him, rips off his pants. I don't see them being able to do like them letting him do on like Raw, even though he did just rip him off and just throw him at the guy.
All right, let me ask y'all this question because again, these are one of the peak groups. Like I missed their era, like as this was going, so I'm not familiar with them other than Mustafa Ali. They used to call him Ali, and wasn't he like on the verge of being cut from WWE at one point because they was like they couldn't find anything for him to do, and it was like some what was his manager kept trying to get in. Oh, am I mixing him up with somebody? One of his managers kept trying to get in the way to distract, but he keeps losing. Or he was in that storyline because I remember how dumb that storyline was. He kept trying to find a manager. He had a manager that kept trying to interfere. Who was he fighting? Because it was Mustafa Ali versus. Oh, I can't remember. But he was. Yeah, they was finding it hard for him to find the spot in the roster. Like I heard he was on his way to be cut. They tried to rebrand him with Ali, and like it was around the same time they was it Chad Gabriel, Shorty G, the one that they kept calling Shorty. Yeah, it was around that time that they kept calling him Shorty G, and they was calling Mustafa Ali Ali.
Yeah.
Care about the smart individuals who just don't use their brains. So that was basically our Raw recap. Only good parts of it were the New Day and the Bloodline.
Wait,
and everything else. What's up?
The triple threat match.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how did y'all feel about that? Because I hadn't seen it. All right, from
man meat slapping each other.
Yeah, and like power spots, like some of those slams, like Big E doing the power bomb while they was trying to
power of London.
Yeah, that was crazy to me. I mean, I haven't seen. It is crazy to see such like huge people fight, and it actually sounds like a thunder. It reminds me of
what Vince is looking for now. He's not looking for the agile, like
he's looking for the powerhouse
wrestler. He's looking for those big attraction size guys who he says can main event WrestleMania or be like Hollywood. So that's why they're going more with guys, and they're letting certain people go on their contracts because they're too small, or they're trying to get people to be managers for other people. Just like now, they just rebranded Keith Lee. He's going to be Keith Bearcat Lee.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, but they're trying to make him a heel, and he's working on them in dark matches. Like he's working on that character.
But he's such a nice guy.
I'm sorry, I'm not booing Keith Lee. I can't do it. You can't get me to do it.
Yeah.
You're too good, man.
Very.
How they gonna turn him into a heel when he was fighting for his life at the beginning of the year?
Yeah.
I mean, they did the same thing with Roman.
Yeah.
But who really booing Roman?
And then, I mean, they're doing the same thing with Becky. They're like, oh, you guys didn't want me here. You guys didn't, even though that's a bad Irish accent. Like, Becky, everybody cheered for you. Everybody cheers for
years.
You.
Yeah.
Like, even in, I guess they did a Europe trip, and they thought that Becky was going to get booed, but I'm like, one, she's in Europe, so definitely
Yeah.
not getting booed in Europe. Two, at the end of the day, I feel like if you can get over as a heel, people will respect you when you become a face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because like that's how the New Day has did it. That's how, I mean, people kind of like Happy Corbin right now, but that's just because he's been putting in work as Happy Corbin through the rough times of
Yeah, then Sad Corbin and then going through all of the stuff that they gave him a lot of different characters over the last year or so. Like they even made him think that he was really a king. Like it was amazing. Like and he played that, even that whole Roman Reigns dog food stuff. That was
terrific.
Yeah, but he still was good out of all of that. Like it wasn't he took what they gave him and he just made it work. So now Happy Baron is amazing right now.
Like with Roman, he's getting a lot over because he's a heel now and he's not thrown in our face. Everybody's wanting him to be a heel for a long time. So now that he is, everybody's like, all right, this is what we wanted. We're gonna still boo you,
but it's out of love.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is with Cena. Like everybody would be like, Cena sucks and everything, but that's the same thing with Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle, yeah.
Yeah, people say it is, but people don't necessarily think that that's just the love that they have for an admiration.
Yeah, it's a respect thing.
Yeah, even though they sometimes get sick of the person. But I mean, you see the same person every day for like 52 weeks.
Yep.
Bro, go away. That's about like
I don't like you no more.
That's the best thing about the Undertaker. Like the Undertaker, because I forget what I was watching, but he would take breaks in between spots in his career. That's why he would like have his matches with Kane, go away for a little bit. Have matches with Mankind, he would go away for a little bit, just because he understood that seeing the same person every single day gets a little old and repetitive. You have to keep them wanting more. You got to keep the people going.
Got to give them what they want, man. But yeah. So I forgot where we was going with that.
I mean, initially we were talking about the triple threat match.
Oh yeah, we was talking about a triple threat match and the characters and how Vince want to go big, which is why he's losing a lot of great talent. But yeah, so that is technically it for Raw. That match I thought was exactly what Vince wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. Roman still came up as top heel, but instead of him pinning Big E, he pins Lashley.
Yeah.
Good.
It makes it good because you don't want your WWE champion losing on his first day.
Yeah.
His first week champion, especially on the show.
I mean,
I said,
they let all the other champions lose, but not Big E. So we'll take it.
Yeah, you don't want him to look weak. Like their match, they don't want them to look like they lost. So yeah. But going on losses, can we talk about the loss Ric Flair is feeling right now?
Oh, yes. So let's go ahead and jump into the dark side of the ring.
All right, hold on 1 second. And we're back. I gotta take a second, but now we're back and we're here to talk about the dark side of the ring.
That's cool. So something to drink. All right. So
we're gonna exit out and come right back. I gotta edit this out, but they're giving us a time limit and I have no idea why.
All right. I've listened.
Be right back.
I've watched it and I've listened to people talk about it. It isn't the only plane ride from hell. There's multiple ones because when the guys who made this were talking to some of the guys and girls, they had conflicting reports on which flight it was Vince on those flights, and blah 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 blah. But the gist of it is Ric Flair is, and let's say this politically correct.
A dirty old man.
Okay, yeah, you said it, not me.
Man, see, listen, I know you got some political connections and stuff that you want to keep cool, and I'm not gonna force you to say anything. But listen, I think that two things from watching this. I think that Ric Flair is a dirty old man, and two, Tommy Dreamer is very unaware of the world that he lives in or the world that he's been living in, because everything that he said in it was very insensitive.
It was very, very like disheartening to hear him say things like that. Just because we like just a few last year, I believe, we had the Speak Out movement.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was, where all the women wrestlers were coming out talking about how they've been either felt unsafe around some of the boys or sexually assaulted. So when the thing with Terry Reynolds was like, no, sell it. That's just true. There's a lot of times where people will mess with you and you just can't. Well, that's just in life sometimes. You can't, like they always tell you, don't let the bullies see you upset because it's just gonna like make them mess with you more.
Right.
So got hit a motherfucker in the face. Like, yo.
It was very, very heartbreaking to hear about stuff that was happening with Terry. And like I understand that because she married to Brock now, right? No, that's Sable. Sable was married. Yeah, my fault. Yeah.
They still had the same type of issues as well.
Yeah, but to hear like the boys being boys, and if I had to sue every time that happened to me, I'll be in court my entire adult life. Like that's heartbreaking. That because and I'm putting this in the industry that she's in, and at the time that she was in, for her to be subjected to a lot of stuff like that, it was. I got a daughter, so me looking at things is like, man, listen, let my daughter say something to me, and let a guy tell her to no sell. I swear, it's gonna be a problem. Like, no, you just, people deserve respect, and I know that if somebody was to upcock Brock Lesnar, hey, Brock, he would want to fight.
Well, here's the thing. Supposedly, Terry said that Brock did. Actually, in the show, she said Brock did that to her. So,
I'm saying if somebody did it to him, he would be pissed. And I know that hindsight is 2020. Because I know Brock be like, man, I wish I never did stuff like that, but I was young and I was dumb. Like
we're all young and stupid because we've all sent an unsolicited picture. Hopefully we've all stopped that, because I can tell you for a fact, women don't like that.
Yeah, not at all.
If you're watching this, if you're listening, don't send no random pics of your junk. All right? If they want to see it, they'll ask. Okay? You nasty old perverts.
Yeah. But like I said, Brock was
have like issues with that, especially with the younger people like not younger, but the people who are just coming into wrestling, where they can sometimes be manipulated by other people to do certain acts, which then in turn, in hindsight, they're like, just like the movement, things would come out and they're like, oh snap, so that happened to you,
Yeah, like the whole thing with Sammy Guevara. He was suspended from AEW because of tweets that he sent Like he posted on Twitter. I think it was about Sasha Banks. It was either Sasha Banks or yeah. And I mean, Sammy is like what, 21, 22?
Something like that.
Yeah, he young, and you know, I'm glad that he learned that situation early. Like, because you don't want to be in your 60s and 50s doing that like Ric Flair. And I'm gonna try to look at this as an objective thing. Him as a people pleaser, him as a person that gotta put on all the time. And in that era, they were saying that the boys wanted to see it and it was funny and all of that. Him having to be on, there's a self-conscious issue there. And he's saying that he didn't do it, but there's when you are
recanted that subject, recanted that in his last apology, though.
he recanted that, saying that he didn't.
Yeah,
because wasn't there like a sketch or something, a promo where he was talking about the stewardess and stuff? Yeah, like so.
But it's also like with Tommy Dreamer's statement about, oh, if she really cared, she should have went full like head on
Insensitive.
Look, I'm not that wise of a man, but even I know that going against someone who has money like Ric Flair and the WWE, who has lawyers for their wrestlers possibly at that time, especially someone like Ric Flair, he's gonna like have the money to put that stuff in legations for years. So yeah, she's gonna want to take that payment just because besides like putting her family through all that stuff, she can lose all of her money just with lawyer fees and court fees.
Right.
And even besides that, like it's 2021. I know stories from as recent as 2012, 2014, where a woman comes out and she gets persecuted. Like that, okay, she has a traumatic event and then has to deal with the trauma of public persecution, exile in most situations. Obviously, you had something to do with it. Obviously, you wanted it, or ooh, you went out to party with him. What happened at that party and all of that? Like, it's ridiculous for that. Like
the flight attendant's husband was so insensitive, asking her, "Oh, what did you do to make him do that?" Like, yo,
Right.
yeah, no, it's
husband, man, or you to say that to your wife. You're supposed to want to protect her. You should be one ready to go and stab Ric Flair or something.
yeah.
Like,
And him being embarrassed, and so he wants to take the money. Like
Right.
and that's if, and I'm trying to be objective. That's if everything she's saying is true, and she went through all of that. Then that is horrible. If all of this is made up for clout, that would be just as bad. But
it's been going on for so long that, or it's been a story for so long that it's hard to actually think that
it was something else.
Yeah. But
See,
even like next week is going to be probably an even worse one than a worse episode than this one.
Who's next week?
Canyon.
Oh, Canyon.
Yeah, and it's going to dive to him like his depression, how he felt like the boys were picking on him because of his sexuality. Which I should say, it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, man, woman, whatever you want to call yourself. Yo, love who you want to love. Leave people alone. Why does it matter who anybody else like loves? I know we're trying not to cuss, but I'm gonna say this: what you eat don't make me shit, and who you fuck don't make me come. Like, mind your own motherfucking business when it comes to that stuff.
It's all from it's a lot of stuff that goes into it, the history of what it was, how sexual taboo came into play, and just the programming of how everything.
I wasn't allowed to have sex with white women, and now they can kiss my ass.
And I completely understand. But yeah, it was
They can eat my mayonnaise.
yeah, but yeah, RIP to Kenya, because man, he was one of my actual favorites. Like, what about me? What about Canyon? Like that was
No, that wasn't it.
yeah, it was what about Canyon?
It was Raven. What about me? What about Raven?
It was Raven, but wait a second, Canyon had another one. I thought that Canyon, what about Canyon? I thought Canyon did that. I thought that it was taken from Canyon. Hold on, one second.
He was also Mordecai though.
Hold on.
I thought Raven was quote the Raven evermore.
He said that too.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he said that too. But
he would always say, "What about me? What about Raven?" Because he would sit down in the corner and be his little Nirvana. I'm a creep. I don't even.
Yeah, yeah, with Kidman and just
Yep.
yeah. See, I'm gonna get this. We keep going with this. Yeah. Oh, I did see something that was very interesting. No, I'm not even gonna talk about that. But Scott Hall, I pray for him because he was dirty then too, and I know that he was dealing with a lot of issues. And
he has cleaned himself up since then. Scott Hall was one of the trainers at my school. Well, for a little bit, like he would come in and he would critique us and like give us pointers and everything. Him and Disco. So I've met Scott on a few occasions, and when I did meet him, he was pretty cool. Like he looks like how he is now, but at the end of the day, he was still Razor Ramon. He could still like talk with the best of them, and he gave pretty good advice as well when it came to like moves, especially like hitting the finisher. His rule was if he wasn't like winning, he wasn't going to hit his finisher.
Yeah, that I actually seen some of it was a WrestleMania. Shout out to WrestleMania. They had a top 10 protected finishers, and his was like on that list because if he wasn't going to win, he wasn't going to hit it. And so every time he hit it, you knew it was a game. It was rap. It was a rap. But yeah, so for you to tell that story, and this is me going back into my YouTube wrestling dark hole. We just keep coming up with stuff. So I'm happy WrestleMania, your facts is there. Thank you.
I mean, for the most part, like the wrestling world is just one giant circle. Like everybody's pretty much saying the same stories over and over again. It's just some people are getting a little bit more information and it's actually becoming like not more he say, she say, but more fact-based. So that's what's good.
That is good. And while I got you here talking about finishers and everything, did you ever figure out the name to your finisher? Because I remember when we first started, you just couldn't.
I mean, my finish was the greatest finish of all time, and no one ever kicked out of my finish. It was also the most protected finisher of all time as well. It's called lay on your back and take a 3 count.
Most protected.
No one ever kicked out of that move. Most protected whatever.
Wait, that is hilarious. I'm gonna name a song after that. Lay on your back and take a 3 count.
3 count. But I called I had one called a head buster. And I can't remember what kind of move it was. It was a modified Celtic cross, but I would drop them on my knee. And then I would just use the frog splash or the blue thunder bomb.
Ooh.
Okay.
I always appreciate a good blue thunder bomb.
See, I have the reason I'm trying to like get back into wrestling somehow, like manager wise, because I have a few moves that I've somewhat created that I've never seen anyone do before.
Mm.
And I want to see them done on someone because I know that it would be popping.
Okay, so hopefully we can get somebody to let you manage them, and you can just give them that trade secret of yours.
That's right.
We gonna get you on that.
I got a few people here in Florida that I've been looking at. I just need to go ahead and talk to them, but I also need to go ahead and get a new job. And yeah, that's for another story, another podcast.
Yeah. All right.
Careerless.
Yeah. Let's get back. Our side of the ring, we touched on the big topics of them, but what about the other shenanigans of Brock and Kurt Hennig?
Yeah, I would never get in the middle of that.
Ain't no way.
But I'd have just been like, oh no.
Yeah, we're all gonna die.
Just say, y'all better get these boys because I'm not getting. It's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, there ain't too many people. I mean, there was a couple of them that could have stopped it, but there ain't too many on that. Yeah. But that, and then I think the ponytail cut was just kitty shenanigans. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just kitty stuff. But then again, I think they did say that he was drugged. Oh my god, that bro does not shut up. I know it's because my room is important.
Okay.
But one of the things that I also want to bring up because of the Dark Side of the Ring was the fact that a few months, or maybe a year or so ago, the Undertakers had claimed that the locker room now was soft because more people wanted to play video games and hang out. And
I heard that statement.
It's like, it's stories like that where it's like, are you serious, Undertaker? Like, Taker's my favorite wrestler in the whole wide world. But even with that, I'm like, yo, I would prefer, like, even when I was in wrestling, a lot of us, we would smoke a little bit, like after our matches. I would never smoke before because I didn't want to put anybody's life at harm, being impaired.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, a lot of us just would sit around, talk comics, talk anime, play video games, because not a lot of us wanted to be like them.
Yeah. They wanted to live like rock stars, and then, like how they said, I think it was Jim that said it. They done seen these people come in and they made millions and don't have two pennies to rub together. Yeah. I mean, if I had to decide what was more important, money or living like a rock star, I'm definitely taking the money. Like, so, yeah. But I understand Undertaker. But see, Undertaker was also a little different because everybody went to him like the judge. He was the father. He was the Godfather. Yeah, so he was like, he saw boys being boys and probably didn't even see all of that, like how Jim Ross just didn't see all of that.
But one of the ribs that they would do was people would take a piss and shit on people's like gear.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, I heard they did that to Shawn Michaels and them did that to The Rock, if memory serves me correct.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, I'm not doing that whole no sell that. Like, no, I'm gonna find out who did it, and I'm gonna
beat your ass. Yeah.
Like, don't touch my stuff. That's the one thing I don't. You can play a practical joke, but like, don't mess up my stuff.
Yeah. All right.
Teach his own.
Right.
But that being said, we are going to move to another promotion now, where we're going to All Elite Wrestling, where we have a jam-packed week. Like, basically
it's a 2-night pay-per-view.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Because this week, even Rampage is 2 hours. And
your boy gonna be tired, but I'm be up watching.
Oh, goddamn right.
Hold on. You guys can talk about it. I'm gonna see what matches they have set for Dynamite.
All right. Well, while you looking for those matches, let's talk about Dynamite last week. It was kind of lit. Like, hold on, I gotta go to my notes now. But
Yeah.
what was it? It was
They definitely set up a lot of stuff.
they
I'm
set up.
liking this whole MJF and Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah, I want to talk about that real quick because that it kind of it. Okay,
You mean this promo?
all right. Brian Pillman Jr. needs to work on his promo. I think we talked about that last week, but Brian Pillman Jr. needs to work on that. I am hoping that he gets Brian Pillman over in a way because he's not one of my favorites right now. But so for me as a fan to see Brian Pillman Jr. try to face it off with the likes of MJF, we already know that he's better than him. He's better than him, and he knows it. Like, but that one kind of bothered. I mean, it bothered me because they even tried to, I never had a silver spoon in my mouth, and I'm like, listen, you gotta be a little more of an asshole instead of sounding like a farmer getting to the city for the first time. Well, I never had that had bothered me, but I'm hoping that Brian Pillman gets over, and I hope that he gets better with talking. Because if I was Brian Pillman, the welcome to the jungle would be the thing. Like, hey man, you had a silver spoon in your mouth, but I'm gonna show you what a jungle animal looks like. Or I'm gonna show you what a baboon or something, like just getting into that type of promo. I think that him being part of the Varsity Blondes. Him at the Varsity Blondes
Well, that's a homage to his dad.
I understand that. I understand, but what I'm saying is for him to do that, and then it's like I'm meek and I'm humble and I'm gonna be this guy, and hey man, listen, you go in there with energy. Like, I understand this is a promo, but you're kind of here because of the nostalgia touch, and I, being a 36-year-old, remember Brian Pillman's eyes and being afraid for my life while I'm watching it through TV because it was like a fire was there. So it's just something that I took from that, and I'm glad that he's in it because I do feel a way about it. Like, it's a hell of a lot more than saying, I don't care about this one.
Right.
So, but yeah, I wanted to touch on that, even though I think it's going to be a good match. I just want Brian Pillman Jr. to be the best he can and not feel like he's tempering himself because he looks a little restricted. So
like you're holding back.
Yeah, no man, let that out because we all see it
For sure.
If a casual fan, a hardcore fan, and a pro actually sees that, then it probably should just be let out.
Dynamite Wrestling didn't happen last night, did it?
No. It happened last week. It was brought to you by the word shit.
Oh, sorry. No, what I'm looking up right now is a prediction of the matches for tonight.
Okay. It's gonna for Wednesday. Yeah. But no, we definitely gotta talk about how CT. Remember how I said last week that Bobby Lashley saying he's gonna take that money in the bank suitcase and shove it up your ass or whatever he said.
Yeah.
And I said they do need to grow up a little bit, and they need to stop acting like we're kids and just I think AEW listened because they said we're gonna do you one better. We're not gonna show you that we're adults. We're going to be childish adults. And they said the word shit like 174 times.
Well, you're able to say shit on regular cable TV. Mm-hmm. And because I think as long as you're TV 14 or higher, you can say shit.
Yeah.
Shit. Shit. I ain't shit. It will be shit. So shit.
Yeah, I remember when they actually allowed it. It was the Law and Order episode. There was a Law and Order episode. I'm just old enough to remember this. And it was such a big news that they were going to say shit happens on Law and Order, and NBC, because it was on NBC, didn't know if they were going to blur it out or let it go. But they said it impacted it so much. And Comedy Central put out a news saying that they're going to have a South Park episode. And if they let that word go, they are going to play it unedited. And so they created.
I know exactly what episode you're talking about.
Man, and they let it go. So Comedy Central was shitting there. Man, it was hilarious. And I was like, man, I can't believe they let this happen. And, you know, at first it was a big deal. Then, you know, it didn't become a big deal and wrestling became PG. Mm-hmm. And then it first started with coming back when AEW happened and MJF and Chris Jericho. I think Chris Jericho said it first. But when Cody, when he said your shitty little list to Cody, it was like, oh, okay. And I think they did it to egg on WWE saying, hey, look, we're adults. We can say these words. And as soon as they did it, it was like, push the button. Shit.
Their favorite word to use in WWE is bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Every female feud.
Yeah.
Although I do like it when Sasha Banks said it.
Ben Simmons is opening of training this weekend. Sorry.
Yeah, he's not reporting. Yeah, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, come to Detroit. We need you, and we won't treat you like those assholes in Philly. Brotherly love my ass. Huh.
Hey, Ben Simmons, learn to shoot the ball.
You don't need to shoot the ball. We just move you to center. You don't need to shoot the ball. We got Cade for that.
I mean, still attempt to make a layup. But I mean, we're not a
sports podcast. I think we say that every week. We're not a sports podcast. Yeah,
she's going everywhere.
Yeah, and I did make another Chris Jericho reference. I think I referenced Chris Jericho too much.
No such thing.
So we have 5 matches for Dynamite this week. We have Cody Rhodes, who made his comeback last weekend.
Yeah.
He's going to be facing Malachi Black. How do you guys see that match going?
I hope Rosario's going to be there.
Who? Oh, Rosario?
Yes, I hope she's going to be there. Mm-hmm.
She probably will be, but I'm still seeing, I don't know. I see him losing.
Yeah, I see Malachi.
No, Cody Rhodes.
Oh no, I said I see Malachi killing him.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah. Because
exactly what needs to happen
on that same trajectory of trying to make him a star. They don't need to put him on the title picture or anything right now. They just need to have him in decent.
They need to build him up. Yep.
Yeah, but I feel like after this feud or after this match, then Malachi can actually go really feud with somebody instead of just going after someone who's not necessarily there right now.
Oh yeah, I can actually see Malachi. Like, I understand that this Adam Page story is going, but I can see that Malachi being so brutal than somebody like the likes of Adam Page, Hangman, coming in, because right now he is honestly the white light of of AEW right now. Everybody loves him, no matter where he's going. People just wants to see him.
Congratulations to Hangman Page because his girlfriend or wife had their child, or that's
Yeah.
So congratulations to them on their.
Congratulations on that. Yeah.
The next match that we have is we just talked about it. MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah. MJF still.
I see. Yeah. I see them giving it to MJF and then at an actual big pay-per-view, giving it to Pillman.
Okay.
So giving him like that push.
See, and this is what I was worried about. This is exactly what I was worried about. MJF, they should have left him as beating Chris Jericho, because now anybody could win possibly over him, and now this trajectory of him being the
they still gave a leeway out because he was like, he already had won the match, but then they restarted it, so that's how he lost. So he still had that to go off on.
No, I mean, hopefully they go back to that, but if we envisioned on episode 1 MJF having this reign as champion, and one of the big things is that he's been on fire. He's been undefeated in singles matches, and he's been this the Diamond Ring King for the past 2 years, and he's beaten Chris Jericho 3 times. Like, he's been on this tear that is supposed to lead up to him versus Adam Page for championship and his reign starting. But in him losing to Brian Pillman Jr., if it's not a great match and it doesn't shoot Brian Pillman Jr. to the moon, it's going to be a big loss for him.
No, I don't see it being a big loss just because he's still necessarily new. And he has the good thing about AEW is, yes, wins and losses matter, but they're trying to give him a little bit of a shot. And you don't always have to beat the newest thing that you're trying to get a push. Sometimes it is that slow build where he's losing, and then all of a sudden he wins one. It's kind of like how they're doing with Jungle Boy, where they're not necessarily putting him in the biggest of matches, and even when they do, he's usually the one taking the pin. So it's like you work his way up, he's taking losses, then all of a sudden he gets that one big win, and that pushes him and propels him. I feel like that's what they want to do with this feud, but they can't jump the gun. They can't jump the shark. Yeah. Like, they can't give him the first win and then shoot him straight to the moon. Because then how are they going to build for like the rematch or the rubber match?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that this feud shouldn't happen. Cody can't be champion because of MJF. Chris Jericho technically supposed to be retired because of MJF. Now Brian Pillman beats that guy.
I mean, then MJF made his sister go into labor.
Yeah, like, come on, like that is something. Like, the story that they build up for him is so epic. So for me to see him lose eventually to Brian Pillman Jr., it's like all of it was for nothing. It's like he got here and then it just.
I see him winning the overall feud, but I mean, you have to lose few battles in a war, right?
Yeah, and they gave him, like you said, they gave him an out. So if hopefully they get it to where there's another out.
Because and we've already they've thrown the seeds of doubt with Wardlow.
Yeah.
Who's saying that Wardlow won't mess something up?
And I will accept Wardlow messing something up to where Brian Pillman won, but MJF technically didn't lose, because that would make it like, yeah, I would see that, but we gotta move forward. Yeah, because I could talk about MJF all night, because that story, I was so intrigued by that. But yeah,
We also have FTR versus Darby Allin and Sting. I see FTR going over.
yeah,
But they're also like slowly trying to do something with Tully Blanchard. So so I can see it being like them finding a third person. I don't know who they're gonna grab, but they can just go ahead and get. They can't go get. Oh boy. But I do see FTR winning this. Yeah.
I see them calling on Moxley for help. Or who was another one that they just really came across? CM Punk coming in for help, just so it could be
working one against Powerhouse Hobbs and Hook.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about when that blows over, where Tully actually fights Sting and it's a trio. I can see it could be Tully, Sting, and CM Punk, or even Tully, Sting, and Moxley. Like, I can see that, but that's further down the line, because I'm interested, but I'm intrigued. I'll say that about the whole Tully versus Sting. Like, where the hell is this going?
Makes sense.
For sure.
And we're back. Hey. All right.
Next match. Let's just get right into it. The next match we're gonna have is Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho. I feel like they're gonna keep it on Britt Baker.
Yes.
Oh yeah. They I think they have to. I think that they gotta keep Britt. Like, Britt is the hottest thing in the women's division right now. And even though, Ruby came in with a little spark, they got to get her over, but they're not at the expense of
put the title on her.
Yeah.
I don't think you don't want to just jump the shark. Even though I can see them doing this since she's had the title for so long, just to like pop a rating. So there's that. But then also they have as like the main event, Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson in a non-title match. And this is the first time Bryan Danielson's going to be wrestling for AEW. So, I mean, tomorrow is going to be probably one of the biggest shows that they've had on TV, besides when CM Punk came back.
Right.
Yeah, hold on. I think that it is going to be
a title match. I do see them letting Bryan Danielson win unless there's some type of like hoopla. But what I think they should do is just let it go to a draw.
I think so.
Time limit draw. Yeah.
I think that would be. I think that is the best way that it can end, because they haven't had a lot of those. Like, I remember when the AEW first came in, and it was like, yeah, we should have some draws, but it's not going to be like, everybody has a draw, and they did it like 2 draws, and I think it was Kenny and Moxley. That was a draw, right? I think they got a draw, and then Cody got a draw with Darby.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
I think it was Darby. So I think those are only 2 draws I've seen. I don't think there's any other draw, and both of those happened in 2019. So if they ended this with a draw, man, that sets up whatever comes in the future. I mean, they can continue with this whole feud. I mean, it'd be kind of like Bryan Danielson came in, would be like Kenny Omega and John Moxley when they first started. It was a back and forth brawl, different types of matches. And then Kenny was like, I lost myself. I don't even know who I am anymore. I didn't spend all my time obsessing on, like, I can see, like, on a smaller scale, Bryan Danielson having that with starting off with this match. It's going to be a good match. It's going to be a draw. It's going to be another good match. And it might even go hardcore. It can take it to a whole different level, and it doesn't affect the whole story between Hangman and Kenny, because that is inevitable.
And then with him winning, then you can actually give Bryan Danielson that title shot at a later date.
Yeah.
Just hold up, like, oh, I beat the champion. I get my title shot against whoever is champion after Adam Page and. But then going on, because we have a limited amount of time left. We have Rampage on Friday, which that is a 2-hour Rampage.
Yeah.
And that goes on with the other mini pay-per-view portion of AEW. We're going to have Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page versus Chris Jericho and Jake Hagar.
That's going to be a great match.
I see them giving it to Scorpio Sky and them to give them that little rub.
Hopefully, they need something.
Yeah. Done much. But then they have that, I forget what his name is, but he's always good. He was in Impact a few times. He's just a really good talker. We're very knowledgeable about like the wrestling industry. He has a couple like NWA belts that like Ric Flair has held. And yeah. Besides that, let's see, what else do we have? We have the Super Elite versus the Jungle Express and Christian.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see them giving that to the Super Elite.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that Adam Cole being in that, they gotta put him as the top heel. Because and who's better to go against America's favorite trio? Because I don't know why, but everybody loves Luchasaurus, Marco Stunt, and Jungle Boy.
Oh, everybody's Jungle Boy. And I'm like, you just like because his hair.
You like him because he's Luke Perry's child. Like,
that too.
Yeah.
I like him because he can wrestle.
He can. I can't even hate on that.
Awesome. I'm just being facetious, whatever that word is.
Yeah.
And we also have, I'm trying to find it, Lance Archer and Suzuki versus Moxley and Eddie Kingston.
I'm going Lance. Lance has been my boy. I am going Lance.
Oh, I definitely feel like they're going to give them the win after like everything that's gone down in AEW lately with them not having time in the matches and everything. I can definitely see them like here. We're trying to make this better. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm pretty sure it's a lights out match too. It's like a lights out match.
Oh, nice.
I thought I read that somewhere.
I gotta double check that because having it as a lights out match, they've been having great lights out matches. Like, matter of fact, Kenny and Moxley, that was a lights out match when Moxley went to Tony Khan. Yeah, baby, I'm gonna get there. That was bad. John Moxley in a lights out match is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I'm looking up other previews for things that are going down. We might
not have everything because you still got Dynamite. So whatever transpires there tonight, if you're listening to this on Wednesday.
Please.
Oh, we got Powerhouse Hobbs versus CM Punk.
Yes. I knew there was a match that I was forgetting. And I can see the Powerhouse Hobbs, but also like, yeah, I think they're gonna get the Powerhouse Hobbs. Honestly.
If they give it to Hobbs, it's not gonna be a clean one because that's
yeah. Of course not.
But I think
numbers game.
Yeah, I think they're gonna give it to Punk though. I do think they're gonna give it to Punk. And I think what's his name? Hook. That's his name. I think that's what they're really building up before Ricky Starks. Even though, we could talk about Ricky Starks a little later, but because I saw something, but I think that is going to be like one of the marquee matches because they're going to try to build Hook up. Like Hobbs is a big guy, so he already got that on him. But I think that they're going to try to CM Punk going to try to get Hook over. So I think that this one is going to be a well fought match with Punk raising his hand. So yeah.
Okay. I would say try to get to SmackDown preview. I've been looking at trying to see if they have any matches up. They don't. So
right.
check back Friday evening.
Like right before the show.
Yeah.
All right.
So I guess we could talk about Extreme Rules. As I'm seeing right now, they only have 6 matches.
Mm-hmm.
They have Liv Morgan versus Carmella. I'm going with my girl Giovanni Daddio. I love her name. They should just go ahead and let her have her name, and that's Liv Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Liv has definitely needed some type of push.
Oh yeah.
It's like she's been busting her ass and just constantly being left behind. She definitely deserves something.
Yep.
We have the United States Championship match of Damian Priest versus Sheamus, and as of Monday, Jeff Hardy.
Yeah. Okay. I see that. I did not know that. I missed that part. But
Did a triple threat match now?
Huh?
Did a triple threat match now?
Yes. Last week, Jeff Hardy beat Damian Priest.
Yeah.
So this week he had a match with Sheamus, and if he won, he would be a part of the match, and he won.
Gotcha.
Man, they is trying to send Jeff off right. So I'm going with Jeff. Because
I'm gonna say they're gonna keep the title on Damian, and they're just the reason why they brought Jeff into the match is so they have somebody for Damian to go over on, so it doesn't have to be on Sheamus, because they want to probably push Sheamus to probably battle against Big E. I can see that.
Okay, I can see that, and I just thought about who I was talking about, and they're not gonna let anybody leave with the title. So yeah, I'm changing mine, but I'm going with Damian.
We'll have the SmackDown Championships, the Street Profits versus the Usos. I say the Usos are going to win just for the fact that everything with the Survivor Series.
It progresses the story, yeah. Usos.
Yep, Usos.
Have another, give it to the Street Profits again, switch shows, and then them in the New Day just like, oh, you want this belt? Sure. Here, you can have this belt.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. I see them still keeping the title on Becky.
Yeah.
And potentially just working working towards the Royal Rumble and probably dropping the title then.
Yeah, I see that they keep it on Becky.
We have Alexa Bliss versus Charlotte Flair for the title. I don't care.
Don't care. I say Charlotte, but yeah.
They had a good segment on Raw, but okay. I don't care.
Oh wait, I care about Charlotte.
Wait. I forgot who we talking about. They're going to go the extreme. They're going to make sure that no Flair has any type of name. Yeah, no, it's going to stay on Charlotte. Charlotte is phenomenal.
Charlotte's a hard worker. She is the women's division, honestly. But yeah, I just don't care. No.
Yeah.
Then we have Finn Balor, who is bringing his demon persona versus Roman Reigns, which I wish they wouldn't feed the demon to Roman Reigns, but I get why they're doing it.
Yeah.
And that's how Roman Reigns is going to win. I don't know if you guys can hear my dogs, but they're all adopted.
Yeah,
it's okay.
We can hear them. It's all right though.
Yep. Tribal Chief.
Yeah.
Feed them more. I'm
Yep.
talking about right back.
So we got done with that.
All right. Okay.
But we definitely need to hit like 2 more points. AEW announced that they have come in partnership with the Owen Hart Foundation. They are creating a tournament. I forget what the name of it's going to be called.
I believe it's the Owen Hart Tournament of. I don't know. Hopefully they could.
I thought it was just the Owen Hart Cup.
Yeah, I think it's the Owen Hart Cup.
Yeah. And then like the winner gets the Owen. That's the name of the prize. And then they are also coming up with brand new merch.
Yeah.
Owen Hart, and then also putting Owen Hart in the AEW video game that they got coming out.
Excited about that.
I've seen previews of the game, which I guess it looks okay. It's not how like the WWE games are, and I understand why it probably couldn't be. But you know, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm probably not gonna buy it because I'm just not into playing wrestling games anymore. But
all right, I'm gonna say it like this: me and Chris gonna get it, and we gonna live stream it, and so we gonna have some conversations about matches, about me kicking his ass on the PlayStation. You know it. Don't even act like you don't. You know it. And we
I ain't never lost in a wrestling game since SmackDown versus Raw 2006. I don't want to hear you.
That's because I stopped playing around that time. That's the only reason why.
Put some money on it. Money on it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I want to do that.
Man, that's only because I'm broke. But no. But yeah, so I'm as a Owen Hart fan, like you can ask
nugget.
I am not a nugget. Yeah. Yeah, but no, as an Owen Hart fan, you can ask Bo. I would always pick Owen over Brett.
Over Brett, yeah.
Yeah, because he's a Brett fan.
Oh yeah.
So for Owen to get a game, because
what like Seth Rollins and them are now.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It's such tragedy on what could have been, but that's really a lot of the wrestling industry is what could have been.
Yeah.
So many like deaths, especially super early, or like even in your 50s, that's super early nowadays. And it's sad that a lot of wrestlers are going either by their own hands or because of heart problems or issues with their bodies because of wrestling. That's for another time as well.
I do want to give a shout out to Martha Hart, Owen's wife. She can finally honor her husband the way that she wants to, because there's been issues with the whole WWE staff and all of that. But not to give them, I'm not putting them down to push her up. I'm just happy that she gets a chance to honor him, and the Hart family can honor him. I mean, it started with Brett. AEW's connection started with Brett handing out the first championship. Yeah. So now you got that, and then you get a cup for Owen. The Hart family.
I hope they do. Is they go to Canada for like the finals.
They got to. I don't know if they can do it with the whole COVID restrictions and everything, but if they don't do it this year, I know that the cup is going to have a Calgary to Edmonton tour where they're doing the tournament there. I would love to see Canada have that for them. I mean, because they can do qualifications here, but when that tournament starts, send it over to Toronto, send it over to Calgary, send it over to Edmonton, Alberta. Like, It would be amazing.
I know we said this last week that we're going to come up with the trio tournament of power brackets.
Yes.
We have to do that. But we also need to come with the Owen tournament bracket as well. I don't know how many people they're going to put in there. I'm going to say 8. I'm going to say about 16.
I would probably say about 16.
So I'm going to, like, what we can do is, I guess, come up with some ideas on who you think might be in it, who's going to win it. Because, I mean, we can try to guess right now, but I want a week for it to marinate.
Oh yeah, no, we definitely do it. I want to get that 2 weeks because the individual roster is massive right now. Yeah. And we got to think of some mid cards, and we got to think of some up and coming main eventers that is going to be there, or even compelling storylines, because I wouldn't put it past AEW to let this progress a story that is more important than pushing a particular mid card or a particular main event. Like, even if they're pushing the story of Wardlow turning face, and they use this tournament as that, and him, so and that was from What Culture? Like, that's not my idea. I heard them talking about it and was like, I can see that with AEW. But yeah, so I'm
giving that Owen Hart the Oni to Jungle Boy.
Yeah.
Because that's like, that could be the other thing. Like, you really want to give somebody that push.
Yeah.
Have them win that.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. Like, it'd be the push. Like, I can see Jungle Boy winning it as a push. But if to progress the story and to progress the MJF story to where it leads to, I can see Wardlow turning face, and him participating in it, or even just losing it in the finals by denying MJF's help or whatever. Like, I can see that to them to progress the story. So yeah, I'm really intrigued by this. So I want to give that 2 weeks, and next week we can do the trio tag tournament of power.
I definitely am not trying to hear MJF promo during the Owen Cup.
I don't want to hear that either, though. I mean, I understand the story.
It's like, it's like, MJ, this is one that, like, you take a day, take a break, rest home.
But again, that all depends on the story. I don't want him to be the main focus of the story. But if Wardlow turns face and he gets some love out of that, cool. But what was it? There was something else. Talked about the tag. Talked about I wanted to ask you this question. Do you think that wrestlers should be unionized?
That is a hard thing right there, because right now every wrestler is an independent contractor.
Right.
So we're not, like, none of them are given health care. There's no retirements, none of that stuff. With the union, then they're able to get those certain things, but it's so hit or miss because Jesse Ventura has been trying to do that since like the 70s.
Right.
And that dirty, sleazy old man Hulk Hogan just kind of messed that up.
Yeah.
And everything. But at the end of the day, wrestlers need something to help them. So yeah, they need healthcare, because like in the WWE, they might be getting a good amount of money, but they have to pay for their own transportation to and from shows.
Okay.
Hotels. They have to pay for their own food.
Wow.
They don't get healthcare. Again, they don't get retirement plans. If you actually like are employed by the like company, and like behind the scenes,
you get all of that, yeah.
Yeah. But as an active wrestler, no, you're an independent contractor, which is confusing, because if you're an independent contractor, you should be able to do independent contracting things.
Work, but yeah, You
I get
can't.
like if you're contracted to exclusively work for somebody, but you should be able to go and use your likeness for whatever.
Yeah.
So you get extra money as long as you're using your own name. So
Okay. Well, speaking with the WWE, and this is what brought up the question. I was going through the Twitterverse, and I came across this article from the Wrestling Republic. Shout out to the Wrestling Republic, and the headline was Andrew Yang to WWE talent. Let's get you what Vince owes you. So, for people that don't know, Andrew Yang was running for president. Then when after he while he was running for president, one of the things was that he was trying to get them he wanted Vince to pay what he owes to wrestlers because he felt like they were not getting what they deserve. I'm gonna read part of the article. Former Democratic presidential candidate and New York City mayoral candidate Andrew Yang has made substantial moves in support of WWE superstars. He has laid the groundwork for both current and former WWE wrestlers to contact the Department of Labor to challenge their independent contractor status with the company. Yang sent out a tweet last Thursday morning, encouraging WWE talent to contact the labor attorney Lucas Middlebrook so they can get what Vince owes you. Middlebrook's background includes airlines and sports related groups. So he did this, and people met him with some backlash because he talked about it before.
yeah,
But one of the issues was that when he was trying to take it to Trump, one of the people in the cabinets was wasn't it Linda? It was
yeah,
Linda McMahon. Like, so he's trying to take this fight to law, but Linda, who has vested interest in WWE,
listen, Linda.
yeah, he got Linda having vested interest and vested interest in WWE. You think that she wants to hear this? Like, and normally that would present as a conflict of interest, but there's things that goes on with the government that prevented it from being taken back. But now he's saying that things have changed, times have changed, and there's people that are actually for the people now in the office. And he didn't say it in that many words, but that was the gist of it. But so I feel like there should definitely be something, and I feel like wrestlers should definitely
Be compensated because they are very much underpaid.
yeah.
Like for how much money the WWE has made just last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the highest person getting paid having maybe $1 million as their salary. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I would say, hey, take that fight to the labor, the Department of Labor.
But that also takes like not just people in WWE.
Oh no, there's a
W that takes Impact, that takes ROH, that takes the indie workers, that takes a lot of people. And a lot of people just aren't. The reason why most unionizations fail is because people just, at the end of the day, can't put all that legal money through the legal fees and everything.
Oh yeah, no, and honestly, and let's look at it this way. All right, they do question, they question their independent contractor status. Vince turns them into employees, pays them this because now they're employees, and now some people are getting fired because now I definitely have no use for you, even though I do like you. And then some people, now you're gonna have to pay fair wages. And hey, this guy may be a superstar, but he's a part-timer. He shouldn't get this. He's right. And so, but now because you're an employee, now there's a legal way of getting kicked out or quitting, and you can quit, but it also takes it also will have an effect on AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, because now the independent structure is going to change. Because if I'm unionized,
But that only goes for like again, we're three not so wise men talking wrestling.
Yeah.
Right.
Just let's state that again. We have no like now I have no knowledge, I should say, on unionizations and or legal proceedings. But I'm just going by what I've seen on like TV and what I've heard on the news and seen through other people.
Oh.
But
And I'm talking from experience of a company becoming unionized, and I'm only talking about personal experience. I don't know the legalities, the logistics, the legalese, or any of the other leagues. I don't know a lot about the laws about that. So I'm going off personal experience and my personal thoughts, because unions are different as far as depending on when it comes to independent contractors, when it becomes to employees, when it comes to all that. So before y'all do anything, don't listen to the three not so wise men. Just hear our opinions and then say, hey, does this sound right? And you talk to a lawyer.
But from what I think, it won't really affect like the indie part of the wrestling industry, because technically like the indie circuit is more of how do I say this? Shit, now I forgot the word. Oh, whatever. But like with WWE and them, they have like contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So they have law-abiding contracts. So I feel like that's where it's going to stick to like the major companies. So the actual indie circuits won't be too hit by this.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Is that everything? I'm just trying to double check. Oh, I said that I wanted us to talk about Ricky Starks real quick. Mark Henry has stepped down off Rampage and as a commentator is not sure if he's going to be doing interviews and stuff in the back and help cut promos, but in his absence, Ricky Starks is stepping up.
Nice.
And yeah, the thing
Love it.
is,
I like how on some of the rampages they've been having, like Chris Jericho, CM Punk, especially people who are like very knowledgeable about wrestling. Definitely, like if they're not working on a rampage, it doesn't hurt to have like someone who is like a Moxley or somebody who can actually like talk and knowledgeable about wrestling. Just be up there and on commentator for that hour.
I want to see something. It was because the question that I had, he sound, and I don't want to say it as a question. He sound like he's going to do it permanently, like this is going to be his job. Like he was, and I'm trying to find the article. He was thinking, he was like, I love the things that I was able to do in these arenas, but now I'm doing this, and I'm trying to find it. Give me 1 second. I wish I.
Yeah, 6 minutes left.
Yeah, it's not coming up. But Ricky did say, he was saying some stuff where it made me think like, is he going to stop wrestling? I don't know if anybody's heard anything, and if it does, we can actually talk about it later. But this is a nice step for Ricky because that boy can talk.
Oh yeah.
He is very entertaining, and that was another reason why I thought that that the whole pushing of Hook is going to happen, because Ricky's not about to be as, it don't look like he's about to be as hands-on in the dynamite world.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, I hope not. I mean, when CM Punk was on commentary last week, he said he wanted Ricky Starks. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping we still get that match at least.
Yeah, I kind of hope that too.
Or just give me that program. I don't care. If he's gonna be on a commentary for Rampage this week, it's gonna be interesting to see. You know how Taz is on commentary with like one of his boys in the ring. I want to see
Oh, yeah.
Ricky doing the same thing with Hobbs and
Oh
CM
no,
Punk go
there's
at it.
a time where Taz was on commentary and Hobbs was wrestling, and he was like, "Yo," he was basically coaching Hobbs, but from the desk, he's like, "Yo, I don't know why."
Right.
Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, let's
Right.
use,
Right.
down the middle. But do we have anything else to talk about, guys?
No, there's nothing else that we have to talk about today.
All right. Well, we have this little time left. Let's go ahead and do our outros. I am CT. You can find me at King_X_Negus on Instagram and Twitter. You can cash at me if you want to like send me a little ties and offerings to help us out. It is $CT Bernard. If you have anything that you would like to talk about, if you have any comments or anything, just go ahead and leave them in the comments below on YouTube, on Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts are. I'll send it off to my other co-host.
Chris?
Yep. Chris, catch me on Twitter at what's it? Chaos_Prince245. Cash at Mr. Chaos 92. So yeah. Send a little tightness to me, a little TT, you know what I'm saying? I'm here. I can use it.
All right. And you can find me at Late Bloomer Audie. That's L8 Bloomer, the number 8 Bloomer Audie on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. You can find me in all of those spots. You can actually, I have created a Twitter page for us on Twitter. Yeah. And it's at 3 not so wise men. If memory serves me correct, I'm not looking at it right now. But we also have an Instagram page, and this is also our YouTube. So you look for us, the 3 not so wise, you will find us, right? So we got that going on. I do want to have a little update. We've been having issues with Apple. They had, after they put us up, they took us down and they said that we got to be verified. They said that it's going to be a couple of weeks. So once I get the update, we'll be back on there. But we are on Spotify, we are on Stitcher, we are on the Google, we're on Pandora, we're on Amazon. I think Amazon it's Pandora that's taking another to verify, but it is Amazon. So we are in a lot of spaces, but you can check us out on YouTube. You can like, share, subscribe, and comment.
Yes, all 4 of those.
Yeah, do all of those in that order.
And also, I am coming up with a indie corner segment on our podcast, and we'll try to make sure like we have enough time. I'll probably do it within the last 2 minutes, where I'll be talking about upcoming shows and anywhere in a city or state, or any city, any state, any country. Just give us a holler on any of our social medias about the show that coming week, and we will try to promote it. We are not asking technically right now for payment to promote. All we are asking is for you guys to like and subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel. And also, my goal is to also help promote other indie workers. So I will be getting a hold of indie workers and promoting them as themselves. So if you know anybody, definitely let them know to try to get a hold of me. And I will be posting on different social medias for people to get the words, to get a shout out.
Okay. So yeah, we got all that coming. We have a lot going on. And so as we continue, we just want to let y'all know that, as always, we love you. We wish success and everything to you and yours, your family, your friends, and everything. And we want you to continue to do what it is that you love, and that's watch wrestling. So till next time, see y'all later. Peace out.
Later.
Love. I got a fart.